Hello everyone, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. Welcome to UDAAN Deepak YouTube channel and I am Deepak from UDAAN Deepak Academy, Keshapura, Hubballi. So let us move on to discussion of most important. Yes, so I'll be starting with the entire chemistry now. In one shot, I'll be finishing all the theory part, the concepts of chemistry. Then I'll be beginning with all the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 mark questions in one shot. Okay, I hope my voice is audible. Yes, thank you so much everyone for your just kind response. So let us not waste much time and move on to the discussion of the most important questions now. So ellaru pen tagori, book tagori, whatever I tell will definitely come in your examination and you should able and capable to solve the questions thoroughly everyone. Okay, so yes, so let us now. Good afternoon Suresh Mantri, Pratik Udekar, yes, Ujayapura, yes, Ranjit is there, sir. Finally came Jashwant. Yes dear, finally I had come. Thank you. You were not expecting me to come, so yes, I am finally back dear. So fast agi pen tagori, book tagori and try to write everything and main concepts you try to manage to study. Okay, so Raghu Dambal from Belagavi, Rekha Rangres, yes dear. Then Vibhishan is there, a nice dear. Akash D'Souza, Shravan, Cutie Pie, God Creature, Bhuvan Banagar. Screen is blurred. Those you are finding screen is blurred, I request them to just increase your this 1080 PLE Madi Nudi, the resolution you need to improve here. Okay, from Bidar, from all parts of Karnataka, I am getting so much love and affection. A big heart to everyone. See, the first and foremost chapter is chemical reactions and equation, and you know that chemical reactions and equation is most important chapter because first I'll let you know how many marks you can expect from this chemical reactions and equation. See, entire chemistry will come for 25 marks. I'll let you know entire chemistry. See, 25 marks you will get from entire chemistry. And in this chapter, how much you can expect? The first chapter, you will get 1 MCQ or 1 mark question from this. 1 mark, 1 question you will definitely get from this chapter, and 3 mark, 1 question. So 3 mark 1 question you will get. So total you will get 2 questions and 4 mark you will get from this chapter. And in this 3 mark question you should remember more of what balancing equations. Balancing keltare. This 1 mark question will be activity based application level question keltare. So in the first in the third preparatory the question was asked related to the copper sulfate. Why does the copper sulfate solution change its color? So let me know in the comment section. The previously asked question was in preparatory third, what is the color of copper sulfate solution, and after heating why does it lose its color? So let me know in the comment section ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. Then only I'll be starting up with the class. Okay, so first question na ತಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿನಿ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ important question. Why does copper sulfate solution change its color? And let me know what was the color of copper sulfate solution, and after changing what is its color. So yes, I am expecting the answer. Anybody here, those who are watching in the comment section, can let me know here. Yes, if only see video how much there you will score maximum marks here, because in English whatever I said the first language almost all questions have come. Yes, any displacement Kavita wrong answer dear. Sachin gave the right answer. Yes dear, it loses water. Then let me know what was the color of copper sulfate, and after losing water what is the color of the copper sulfate solution. So I am expecting the answer. Nobody here. Science problem today only I'll be doing dear, because you are hardly left with the 1 day now. So I need to run up, not push up now. Oodbeku. So yes, Mani Raja dream madod bidi. The color of copper sulfate solution, Vibhishan have given the right answer. Excellent dear. The color of copper sulfate solution is blue in color, and after losing water it has become what? white in color. And why does it lose water? It is because of water of crystallization. So what is water of crystallization? Water of crystallization is nothing but the amount of water molecules present in the one molecular unit of salt, or formula unit of salt. Okay, so yes, I hope ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತದೆ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ಸ್ ಗಳು 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವೆ. And for 3 mark questions you will be getting balancing BAL balancing I have written balancing equations ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ 3 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ orally word equations ಬರ್ತಾವು. So everyone should thoroughly practice what balancing for 3 mark. Okay, so yes, a big heart everyone. Now after this I will be solving fix 1 2 3 4 5 mark questions, physics, chemistry and biology. So yaru miss ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. So let me finish up, and hardly we will get 25 marks from this. This is a part B. Yes, so yes, thank you dear, thank you Sharana Baswa. Yes, I can see many students here. Yes, so I yes, fast agi ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ love from Belagavi Amruta, big heart to Amruta here. Yes, thank you. Now coming to the discussion, see what is chemical reaction. See, a chemical reaction in every one paper burn ಆಯ್ತು, and after burning the paper you will get that black ash. That black ash is nothing but what? It is nothing but the chemical reaction in which a new substances with new properties are formed. Okay, so Priya, Imran, hello dear. Sir, resistivity, all the numericals, Sat Kumbari, lots of love dear. Yes, lots of love. Thank you so much everyone. Yes, I hope everyone are connecting. Yes, so you can see now Priya Swami, X Devil. Okay, now you can see a chemical reaction is a process in which original substances lose its nature and identity and new substances form with new properties. A reaction in which new substances with new properties we find, we call it as chemical reaction. The substance which take part in chemical reaction is called reactant, and the substance which are formed in the chemical reaction is called as product. And this one you should by heart. How do you, and all the model question papers you find this question, how do you identify the chemical reaction has taken place? So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ fix ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿದು. How do you find that the chemical reaction has taken place? So this is what fixed question. So ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. One of the fixed question, how do you tell that a chemical reaction has taken place? See, if a chemical reaction has taken place, there is a change in state, there is change in color, there is evolution of gas. You no need to give the example, but try to remember one chemical reaction ಆಗೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಕಲರ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, then evolution of gas ಇರಬೇಕು, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್ ಆಗಿರಬೇಕು, and formation of precipitate. So this is how you can find chemical reaction. Then what is chemical equation? A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of chemical reaction. Okay, it is a symbolic representation of chemical reactions in the form of symbols and formula. So example, you know, the magnesium reacts with oxygen, you are writing magnesium oxide. So Mg plus O2 will give you MgO. The left side is reactant and the right side is what? Product. Okay, this is called the word equation. The word equation can be written in the form of a equation by writing symbols and formula. This one we call it as what? The chemical formula. And you know, plus sign indicates left hand side to right hand side. Arrow marks indicates left side is reactant, right side is product. And this upward symbol denotes what? Evolution of gas. This one is very important. Symbol annu kelbittidare. So ellaru symbol enaitalla particular agi ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. And you should be able to solve what? Yes, physics application levels I'll be coming up after finishing this day. Today only I'll be doing, na elle old ontilla, today only I will do. So ille nodri, the upward arrow sign denotes the evolution of gas, and downward sign denotes the formation of precipitate. You ಯಾರನ್ನು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. Okay, so like this you should able to solve this. Then balancing of chemical equation. See, balancing ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ there is a law here which is the law which governs the balancing of chemical equation? ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ in the comment section ಯಾವ law ಪ್ರಕಾರ balancing of chemical equation we can see? So which law talks about the balancing of chemical equation? Let me know in the comment section, everyone. The law here is which one? It is the law of conservation of mass. See, law of conservation of mass, it says that the matter can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction, and the total mass of reactant is equal to total mass of product. So just mass it here before reaction. If suppose the paper, the one paper which I am holding now, if this paper is of 10 gram, before burning, after burning also 10 gram only, the ash will be of 5 gram and the carbon dioxide gas ಏನೈತೈತಲ್ರಿ ಅದು 5 gram ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. So this is how we should able to justify what is law of conservation of mass. Now you know the balancing the equation. So yang balance ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, I'll be letting you know. I'll be solving all sort of 3 mark question. At that time I'll be letting you know the balancing of chemical equations. Okay, now directly we will move on to the first type. The first type of chemical reaction is which one? Combination. ಹೆಸರೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದಿ ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಆಗಾಕತ್ತಾವು, दो दिल मिलके एक होते, ಎರಡು ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡಿ ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ತಾವಲ್ರಿ, ಹಂಗ ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ C+O2 will give you CO2, H2 plus O2 will give you 2H2O. See here the reaction in which 2 or more reactants. So left hand side are reactants, ಎರಡು ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೂಡಿ ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ತಾವು to form a single product. So this one we call it as what? We call it as nothing but what? It is chemical reaction. Okay, so yes, thank you so much dear. So Sharana Baswa, thank you, I read your comment dear. Big heart to you Devil. Matter can neither be created nor be destroyed. Excellent. Alan Paul, sir, how difficult will be the questions? Questions will be much easier here. Only some application levels around 12 to 16 marks will be asked. If you have studied all the activities and related questions, you can able and capable to solve all the answers. Okay, Kavita, I hope you all are connecting. If you are finding this discussion helpful, I request everyone to put the thumbs up in the comment section. Ellaru video na like ಮಾಡಿ. Okay, then only I can get to know that you people are understanding. Okay, now coming to the next one. See, again combination reaction ಅಲ್ಲಿ the calcium oxide when added to water, quick lime when added to water, slake lime plus heat will come. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, quick lime added to water. So CaO is a quick lime, ನೀರಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ slake lime ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ plus heat ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ. So such a reaction in which heat is given, we call it as exothermic reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. So what is exothermic reaction ಹಂಗಾದ್ರೆ? See, the reaction in which the heat is released or it is given out, we call it as what? Exothermic reaction. ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಐತಿ ನೋಡಿ, X word ಐತಿ. X means what? Exit ಆಗೋದು. So X means exit. So ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, what is the meaning of exit? X exothermic. X Hema Hebballi, Jai Shorts, Aditya Matpati, Umesh, thank you dear. So big heart to everyone those who are giving the thumbs up. Yes, thank you so much. Now yes, see, a reaction in which heat is released along with the formation of product. Burning of natural gas CH4 plus 2H2 will give carbon dioxide plus water plus heat. Even respiration is an exothermic reaction because in that heat is released. So you can see that glucose plus oxygen will give you carbon dioxide plus water plus energy. Now decomposition ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. a single reactant breaks into 2 or more product. ಒಂದೇ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು 4-5 ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, it is get split into 2. A gives what? B plus C. Yes, Eid Mubarak everyone those are watching. Eid Mubarak, happy Ramzan. Okay, yes. So very good Swati Putlekar, you give the right answer. Trisha, yes dear. Then Sat Kumbar, resistivity problems ಬರ್ತಾವು dear. So ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. Okay, you should practice. See, thermal decomposition reaction means what? When the decomposition reaction is carried out by heating, and the decomposition reaction heating le carry out ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? Thermal means temperature, and remember thermal means temperature means heat. Here only you will get what? The change in color. See, ferrous sulfate which was green in color, After heating, you will get ferric oxide reddish brown in color. Tell me what is the color of ferrous sulfate? Green. Now, why does the color of ferrous sulfate solution change? So, let me know what is the answer. Why does the color of ferrous sulfate solution change after heating to white color, and then after overheating it will become reddish brown color? So, let me know in the comment section that why does the color of copper sulfate, the ferrous sulfate solution has changed from green color to reddish brown color. See, unless you answer to me, you will never learn chemistry. Nana pidkona illa yen keltini exam alli fix our questions ga bartavu. So I am expecting the answer. Darshan from Ballari, very happy to see you here. Yeshraj, yes, tell me what is the reason edak change aitatu na keli katteni. Samarth, yes, Samarth Henry, tell me dear. Yes, I am expecting the answer. Very good. Yes, loss of water of molecule. Very good. It's official. You gave the right answer. Rachit from Harvard. Very good, dear. At least one person gave me the right answer. I'm very happy. Okay, loss of water. Alan, excellent. And here two gases will form sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Now let me know how do you identify the sulfur. So now sulfur gas is there any procedure or a method to identify the given gas is a sulfur? So let me know in the comment section how do you identify the sulfur gas. Okay. Now this calcium carbonate limestone when heated it will form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. And lastly lead nitride. Yes, this lead nitride when you heat it will become lead oxide, and nitrogen dioxide fumes bartavaldi they will give brown fumes and the duwa black color irtiti. Now yes, duwa black color iddiddu ille brown agtiti, that is a special case, and oxygen you will get. Okay, I hope everyone are connecting. Yes, so fast you can see now. Next, electrolytic decomposition reaction. When a decomposition is reaction carried out by electricity, we call it as what? Electrolytic decomposition reaction. Electrolysis of water break agi enagtೈತೆ H2 plus O2. So you can see this figure, and this figure is also most important. Electrolyte, and you don't get confused with electrolysis of water and electrolytic refining of copper. Money exam alli na ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ that when they ask electrolytic refining of copper, ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ electrolysis of water ಮಾಡಿದಿ. Electrolysis of water is also important, but making sure you practice thoroughly the electrolytic refining of copper, because that is the most expected rather than this one, because according to the blueprint this figure will not be much expected this year, because the 3-mark question and 2-mark questions you can expect. Okay, now coming to the next one now. So coming to this one, and here remember the gas liberated at oxygen is the anode is oxygen, and the gas liberated cathode is hydrogen. This one you should remember and you should recall. This one is nana pidkole beku. Okay, now see, pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. So to carry out electrolysis, it is essential to add few drops of dilute H2SO4 before the electrolysis. Gas collected at cathode is hydrogen, and the gas collected at anode is what? It is oxygen, is the gas which is given at the anode. Water contains 2 parts of hydrogen element as compared to 1 part of oxygen element by volume. Hence, volume of water at one electrode is double the volume of water at another electrode. So this one you should remember, and you should mention the reason why. Okay. Now coming to next one, the last second is which one? Last one is photolytic. Photo means what? To teach meri photo. No. Photo means here light. So whenever in chemistry you find the word photo, you should know that the photo here means what? Sunlight. Okay, that is what you should be able to recall. See, when decomposition is carried out in presence of sunlight, if the decomposition reaction takes place, if the breaking of the reactants takes place in presence of sunlight, see, when silver chloride, you can see AgCl, it turns gray in color. This is due to decomposition of silver chloride to silver and chlorine by light. there's the same thing is silver bromide in presence of sunlight, it becomes silver and bromine. This reactions are used in black and white photography. The questions will be like this: name the reactions which are used in black and white photography. So that one you should know. Yav reaction, so the which are used for black and white photography, so you should know this here: silver chloride and silver bromide. Okay, so like this you should be able to remember. Then what endothermic reaction? Endo means what? Absorb. So the reaction in which the heat is absorbed. Example, formation of ice is nothing but what? It is endothermic reactions. The reaction which require energy in the form of heat, light and electricity to break the reactants, we call it as the endothermic reaction. Okay, now displacement. See, displacements mean what? I am here now, so now suddenly I will come this side, so I am displacing. Displacement means what? Moving. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇರ್ತಾರ್ರಿ, ಯಾರೇ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಇವತ್ತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರು ನಾಳೆ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೋಸ ವಂಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಮಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ದಿ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಮೋರ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ displaces the least reactive element. Already you know the reactivity series of metals and non-metals ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ reactivity series ಅನ್ನು ಕಲ್ತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರಿ. ಸೊ reactivity series ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು: the more reactive element ಏನೈತಲ್ಲ, that displaces the least reactive element. ಯಾರ reactivity less ಐತಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆ ಅದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ that one we call it as what? Displacement. Now iron, you see, when it is copper sulfate solution which is blue in color, now it will form ferrous sulfate which is green in color and copper will come out. Such a reaction, you know that iron is more reactive than copper because of the reactivity series. Very good, Kavita gave the right answer. Now similarly zinc displaces copper, forming zinc sulfate. Zinc is more reactive than copper because of copper, the reaction. Now double displacement reaction, a reaction in which new compounds are formed by mutual exchange of ions. Andre exchange ಆಗ್ತವೆ, ions ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹೋಗ್ತಾವು, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ions ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವು between the two compounds. So you can see here this sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus barium chloride, ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಎರಡದಾವು, ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಎರಡದಾವು. Now this barium sulfate will come. So how to remember this double displacement reaction? That means ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಜು ಬಾಜು ಇದ್ದವರು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. So you will get what? BaSO4 and NaCl will give you what? NaCl. Okay, again here BaSO4 which is formed, that is what? White precipitate. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, this is what? White precipitate. White precipitate of BaSO4 is formed, so it is also called precipitation reaction. Remember, double displacement reaction is also called as what? Double displacement ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯು ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಅಲ್ಯೂಮಿನಿಯಂ ಕ್ಲೋರೈಡ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬೇರಿಯಂ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್. So coming to the next set of question, yes sir, yes Devendra, I got your point here, thank you. Then Aditya Mahapati, Sharana Basua, yes tell me dear. So next one you can see oxidation and reduction reaction. Oxidation means loss of electrons or loss of oxygen, we can loss of hydrogen we can say. Sharana Basua, thank you dear. Yes thank you so much. Yes ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಏನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಇತ್ತು ಸಜೆಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ. Now gain of electrons or oxidation is a process of gaining oxygen. ನೋಡಿ ಹೆಸರು ಒಳಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೈತಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೀವಿ during the reaction by an atom, molecular or ion, or loss of hydrogen. Similarly, reduction means gain of electron or addition of hydrogen or removal of oxygen, we call it as reduction. See, in this reaction you can see that CuO is reduced to Cu and H2 is oxidized to what? H2O. Similarly, in other words, one reactant gets oxidized. If one reaction is getting oxidized, oxygen sigakatೈತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ other is getting what? Reduced. Such reactions are called oxidation reduction reaction, or we call it as redox. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, redox reaction also most important. Why? Because redox ಅಲ್ಲಿ RED is reduction, OX is oxidation. The reaction in which both reduction and oxidation happens simultaneously. Okay, that one we call it as what? Redox reaction. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, MnO2 ಐತಿ, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗತೈತಿ, ಸೊ ರಿಮೂವಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್. Similarly, HCl, it is becoming Cl. That means H is becoming what? Removed. So we call it as oxidation reaction. Okay. So like this, you should be able to tell. Now, effects of corrosion reaction in everyday life. ನಮ್ಮ everyday life ಅಲ್ಲಿ corrosion ಇಂದ ಆಗುವ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, a big heart to this question. Corrosion, rancidity ಮತ್ತು corrosion ಇಂದ ಬರೋದು ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ. Okay, see, corrosion is a process in which metals are deteriorated. Deteriorated meaning ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಹಾಳಾಗ್ತಾವು, ಜಂಕ್ ಹಿಡಿತಾವು. Okay, by the action of air aitu, moisture aitu, chemicals. It is a redox reaction which where metals get oxidized to metal oxide and gets oxygen gets reduced to iron, oxide iron. The example is corrosion of iron in is called as rusting. Adi iron rust ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ರಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. So corrosion of iron is what? It is rusting. Iron objects when left in moist open air for some time gets coated with reddish brown powder. The process is known as rusting. Then green coating on copper articles and black coating on silver ornaments are example. Tell me what is the reason for green coating on copper and black coating on silver? Which are the substances responsible for green coating? So let me know in the answer. Okay. ಸೊ ಎಸ್, ನನಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಕಾಪರ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ಸಿಲ್ವರ್ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್. ದ ರೀಸನ್ ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ನೋ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಬಿಲೋ. ಸೊ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್. ಶಂಕರ್ ಲಮಾಣಿ, ಮಹೇಶ್ ಕುಮಾರ್, ಸೊ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳಿ. Very good, Priya Pavaskar. Silver sulfide is the right answer. Excellent. Devendra Kumar sir, you are best teacher in India. Your session is more useful. Thank you, dear. So ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. So excellent. Jai Shorts, Kavita, excellent dear. See, prevention of rusting. See, iron articles should be painted. ಈಗ ರಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಹೇಳಿ? ರಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು? ಎಸ್, ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮಿ ಮರಾಕಲಿ, ಸ್ವಾತಿ ಪುಟ್ಲೇಕರ್, ಅವಿನಾಶ್. Then Inchara is there, copper carbonate, very good Inchara. Silver sulfide, Shankar Lamani, Vijay Kumar Bhandari, very good everyone. You can see now, see, prevention of rusting, the iron articles should paint ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. The machine parts should be oiled and greased. Galvanization of iron pipes ಎಲ್ಲ galvanize ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then iron can be coated with chromium to prevent rusting. Rancidity means what? The food substance they will get smell, bad smell ಬರೋದು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು, ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಬಹಳ ದಿನ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ you will get very intense smell, very bad smell. So that one we call it as what? Rancidity. Rancidity is the process of slow oxidation of oil and fat present in the food materials, resulting in production of foul odor and taste in them. When cooked food items are placed for a long time, they become rancid and unsuitable for eating or consumption. So ಈಗ ರಾನ್ಸಿಡಿಟಿಯನ್ನು ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ನಾವು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಎಸ್, ವಿ ಡೂ ಹ್ಯಾವ್. ಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಇನ್ ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್. ನಾವು ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಅಥವಾ ಫುಡ್ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಎಷ್ಟಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ರೆಫ್ರಿಜರೇಟರ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಸ್ಟೋರಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಇನ್ ಏರ್ ಟೈಟ್ ಕಂಟೈನರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Adding of antioxidants to food, storing the food in flush bags with gas such as nitrogen gas to prevent the oxidation process. So like this we can use what? Using of antioxidants, very good. Flushing, Inchara gave the right answer. Sushma Joshi, oxidation of oil and fat in food. Okay, that is also the right answer dear. Okay, so everyone here do are giving the right answers. Mohammed Nawaz is telling physics problem. Today only I will be doing dear. Let me finish off these sessions very fastly so that I can come up with those physics problems dear. Okay, then coming to the next one. Acids, bases and salts. Everyone knows acids. Acids are sour in taste, whereas bases are bitter in taste. Salts ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ಅದಾವು, acidic salts, neutral salts ಮತ್ತು basic salts. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಏನೈತಿ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ and activities related to this everyone should know thoroughly. Okay, ಇದು yes Rachit, tell me dear. Now, what are acids? See, acids are the substances that furnish or those give H plus ions in the aqueous solution. And you know that acids are sour in taste. Andre bhal ಹುಡುಕಿರ್ತಾವು sour taste. I don't know ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದಾಗ ಏನಂತೀರಿ. Devendra Kumbar is asking today only after finishing this session I will be starting up with all the 1-2 mark questions from physics dear, then chemistry, then biology, then all together I will be doing. So whatever I tell definitely exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀತೀರಿ and at 2 p.m. I will be solving up all the questions. Okay, new exam barda Monday dina 2 p.m. as soon as you finish your paper I will be solving the entire paper on the screen. You can just look up to your marks how much you have scored and you can look into the questions which you have attempted properly. Okay, and you have come up to here. I request everyone to kindly register for UDAAN scholarship test for our upcoming PU Science and Commerce College at Hubballi and Oxford College campus Kusugal Road alli irteti, and it is offline. It is a phase 3rd and you can just WhatsApp to the given number 8123426450 and our team will connect back to you regarding this. So make sure that everyone enroll and meet me up at 5th of April 2026 in order to write the scholarship test and avail the scholarship benefits dear. Now see and you know that acids turns what blue litmus paper to red litmus paper. Litmus paper test is very important. ಬಹಳ ಸಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಇದು litmus paper test. It is important. Then if in the aqueous solution concentration of acid is low it is called dilute and concentration of acid is high it is concentrated acid. Those acids which dissociate to ions completely are called strong acid. Strong acid ಅಲ್ಲಿ complete dissociation ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ the acids which do not dissociate into ions completely are called weak acid. So strong acid is H2SO4 HCl HNO3 whereas weak acid is citric acid. ಲೆಮನ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇದ್ದಂತ acidic acid vinegar ಇದ್ದಂತ acids ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Okay, now coming to the next one, bases. See, bases are those chemical compounds which are bitter in taste. Better alla B for bases, B for bitter. So ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಯಾರು ಬೆಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಅವ್ರು ಬೆಟರ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಬಿಟರ್ ಇದ್ದವರು ಬೇಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. So this one you can see here and they are very soapy to touch. So soaps ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವು ಬೇಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಹುದು and they turn the litmus red litmus to blue color. Since bases are having OH hydroxide ions we call them as OH minus ions. They give OH minus ions. The bases which ionize completely under complete dissociate ಆಗ್ತಾವು in water to give OH minus ions we call it a strong base. Example potassium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. The bases which ionize partially or incompletely we call it as weak bases. Example magnesium hydroxide, copper hydroxide, etc. Then we are having these indicators. Everyone should by heart the indicator because litmus paper indicators in preparatory it has come, but this time focus is more on phenolphthalein and methyl orange. See these substances, these are the substances which change their color and smell in different types of substance. See litmus paper no changing color acidic. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಲಿಟ್ಮಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಬ್ಲೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ acids converts the blue litmus paper to red. And in phenolphthalein, since phenolphthalein is pink in color, it will not change its color. And in methyl orange, it will become red color. Similarly, basic solution ಅಲ್ಲಿ red litmus paper into blue ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ basic ಅಲ್ಲಿ blue litmus paper ಹಾಕಿ there will be no change. Okay. Then it turns pink in color, dark pink ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. A reddish form color you can expect. And basic solution it turns orange to yellow. There are some substances whose order change in acidic and basic medium. These are called olfactory. Your nose is having what olfactory indicators. So nenapidkori olfactory indicators are those whose the smell changes. The acid and base change their smell. Vanilla, onion and clove are the example. And chemical properties of acids. See, acids when they react with metals will get salt and hydrogen gas. Example, you can see HCl plus Zn will give ZnCl plus Cl2 plus H2. Arrow mark upward indicate gas. Okay. Then yes boss, Eid Mubarak, Muhammad Nawaz. Yes dear, Eid Mubarak, happy Ramzan dear. Then ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ bases, okay, acid plus metal will be salt plus hydrogen gas. Sodium hydroxide will added to zinc, sodium zincate plus hydrogen gas. This one you should remember, bhal important, ellaru barkonಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. Sodium zincate will come definitely. Okay. Then test for hydrogen gas. Sir, ನಮಗಿದ hydrogen gas ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ? For that we are having an experiment and we are having what? Most important this year, hydrogen gas release can be tested by bringing a burning candle near the gas bubbles. It bursts with pop sound. So ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಪ್ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಅದು ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಗ್ರಾನ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ಡೈಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೈ ಬರ್ನಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಜಿಂಕ್ ಗ್ರಾನ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಆಸಿಡ್ ದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬಬಲ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. ಕೊಡ್ಕೋರಿ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಟೀಮ್ ಆನ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಇದ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. So this diagram is fix. So this diagram will get what? Fixed diagram. Idu exam alli a big heart to this diagram. Ellaru ee diagram annu ಮಾಡಬೇಕು and all the labelings you should mark thoroughly. Okay. So I hope you all are connecting. So this diagram bidbardu, very fixed diagram. ಮೂರು ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ. Okay. ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡಿ. ಇದು ಶರಣ ಬಸವ, ಎಸ್ ಡಿಯರ್, ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಡಿಯರ್, ಐ ರೆಡ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕಮೆಂಟ್. ದೆನ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಬೋನೇಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ carbonates. See, all metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates react with acid to give corresponding salt. See, whenever you see carbon word, right, remember carbon dioxide gas ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸರ್ ನಂಗೆ ತಿಳಿಯಂಗೆ ಇಲ್ರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. For that you should know that the thing here is what? This carbonate will give you carbon dioxide gas only. There is no other option. Sodium carbonate with HCl give you NaCl plus water plus carbon dioxide gas. Sodium hydrogen carbonate ಅಥವಾ bicarbonate ಅದು carbon dioxide gas ಕೊಡ್ತೈತಿ. Then test for carbon dioxide. Sir, is there any test for carbon dioxide? Either ನೀವು carbon dioxide ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾಂಗ್ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ? Yes, we do have the test. See, that we call it as lime water test. See, carbon dioxide when it is passed through lime water, calcium hydroxide, we will get what? Calcium carbonate, a white precipitate. When CO2 is passed, the milkiness disappear. So when calcium carbonate is passed through excess of carbon dioxide, it will form calcium hydrogen carbonate. So ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋರಿ. And this one is we call it as limestone ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And bases do not react with metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. You should know this. Only acids react with metal carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Bases do not react with metals carbonate and hydrogen carbonate. The reaction of acids and base together. ಈಗ ಒಂದ್ ಕೈ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಸಿಡ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಕೈ ಒಳಗೆ ಬೇಸ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಇಬ್ರು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ನಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲೈಸ್. Means what? The effect will become zero. It will nullify the effect. Okay, so you can see here when acid reacts with base, the hydrogen ion of acid combined with hydroxide ion of base to form water and forms water. As these ions combine together, they form water instead of remaining free. Thus, both neutralize each other. So, acid and base hakidna salt plus water. Since in this reaction between acid and base both neutralize each other, it is known as neutralization reaction. Fixed question ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರಿ neutralization reaction. What is neutralization reaction? The reaction in which acid and base react together to form salt and water. We call it as, yes, sir. Acid and base give salt and water. No, yes, dear. Acid and base react to give salt and water is called neutralization reaction. You give the right answer, dear. Like this only you should write. Okay. So next one. Example, you see HCl is the acid and NaOH is the base. You will get what? Salt plus water. Similarly, reaction of acid with metal oxides. See, metal oxide reacts with acid to give salt and water. How same salt and water portavu. For example, copper oxide when reacts with HCl, it will form copper chloride. So copper oxide ಏನಿತ್ತಲ್ರಿ ಅದು black in color ಇತ್ತು. Copper CuO is what? Black in color. When dilute HCl, ನೀವು acid ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳಿ, the color of the solution becomes blue green due to the formation of copper chloride. So ಮೊದಲು black ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ blue green ಆಗಿದೆ. It is because of what? We should thank to this reaction. Now strength of acid and base. See, strength of acid and base depends upon the number of H plus and OH minus ions present in them. Based on its ability to dissociate into ions in solution, acids and bases are classified as strong acids and weak acids or bases. Okay. Now, you can see now strong acids. What is strong acids? Acids is completely dissociate. Or completely dissociate in water to produce large amount of hydrogen ions are called strong acid. For example, you can see nitric acid H2SO4. Then HCl will split into H plus and Cl minus ions. Similarly, weak, they get partially ionized. And the complete agangilla, partially they get ionized in water to produce small amount of hydrogen ions are known as weak acids. For example, you can see acetic acid when it is split into H plus and CH3O. This is you call it as carboxyl ions. Okay, I think in the carbon compounds you know. Then what is strong bases? Bases which completely ionize in water to produce large amount of hydroxide ion, NaOH and KOH. And weak bases are bases which partially dissociate in water to furnish lesser amount of hydroxide ion are weak bases, that is ammonium hydroxide and calcium hydroxide. So these are the things you should know. Now, conduction of electricity. This diagram is also important. Everyone should practice this diagram. Explain the diagram was showing the conduction of electricity. Acids conduct electricity. So that one everyone should know. Yes, sorry dear. Then water amphoteric oxides, dear, this is belongs to the chapter metals and non-metals. Amphoteric oxides are those oxides which reacts with both acid as well as base to give salt and water. The example is zinc oxide and aluminium oxide, dear. But we are in this chapter. See, take solution of glucose, alcohol, HCl, sodium hydroxide, fix 2 nails on a cork. Nails hakori and place the cork in the 100 ml beaker. Connect the nails to the 2 terminals of a 6-volt battery through a bulb and a switch. Bulb mattu switch. Now pour the solution to be tested. First alcohol hakri, glucose hakri, HCl hakri. 4 ಸಲ ಇದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. See, the bulb which glow in acidic and basic solution, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, bulb will only glow in acid solution, that is HCl and NaOH. Why? Because of H plus and OH minus ion. The bulb will not glow in alcohol or glucose solution. Why? Because they do not produce any ions, and therefore alcohol, glucose, distilled water, they do not conduct electricity. Okay, this one you should know. Okay, now dilution of acids. See, ಒಂದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನೀರನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ರಿ, so that it decrease the effect, ಅದ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ. The process of adding water, yes, glucose, alcohol will not conduct because they don't have any ions. Excellent, dear. See, mixing an acid or base with water results in decreasing concentration of ions, that is H3O plus and OH minus per unit volume. Such a process is called dilution. The process of dissolving an acid or base in water is highly exothermic reaction. ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೊರಿ. The process of adding water is what? It is exothermic reaction. Okay, it is exothermic reaction. Care must be taken while mixing concentrated acid with what? Water. Yes, the acid must always be added slowly to water with constant stirring. If water is added to concentrated acid, the heat generated may cause the mixture to splash out and cause burning. So ಯಾವತ್ತು ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ, ನೀರನ್ನು ಆಸಿಡ್ ದಾಗ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀರದಾಗ ಹಾಕಬೇಕು. ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೋರಿ, ವಾಟರ್ ಶುಡ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಶುಡ್ ಸ್ಲೋಲಿ ಬಿ ವಾಟರ್ ಆಡೆಡ್ ಟು ವಾಟರ್ ವಿತ್ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸ್ಟರಿಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತ್ರಿ, ಸೆಲೆಬ್ರೇಷನ್ ಧಾಪ್ 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 ಮತ್ ಮೂವೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾವು. ಸೊ ಚಪಾಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ, ಮೂವೀಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. ಸೊ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. See pH scale, a scale for measuring hydrogen ion concentration in a solution. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದು ಆಸಿಡ್ ಐತಿ, ಬೇಸ್ ಐತಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಐತಿ. ಆ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳಿ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೇಲ್? It is nothing but pH scale. On pH scale we can measure pH generally from 0, it is very acidic, to 14, which is very alkaline. So you can see 7 is a neutral, 0 to 7 is acidic, that is increasing H plus ion concentration, and 7 to 14 it is a base, decreasing H plus ion, that means increasing OH minus ion concentration. That one you should write here. Okay, now you can see the pH of neutral solution is 7. Values less than 7 on pH scale represent an acidic solution. It means pH 5 is more acidic than pH 6. As pH value increases from 7 to 14, it represents an increasing OH minus ion concentration in the solution, that is increasing strength of base. Now difference between litmus paper and pH paper ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅದೇ ಇದೆ ಸರ್. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ಲಿಟ್ಮಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಐತಲ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು pH ಪೇಪರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದ್ರಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದು ಡೌಟ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ through weak networks and muted mics. Okay, thank you dear, somebody has written something. Through weak networks and muted mics, you still made learning something we like. Your support never fades away, guiding us stronger every day. Thank you dear. It's Pratsi, you gave the very motivational this dear, thank you so much. Yes, so I read it and thank you dear, I got it. Okay, I read it and I got it dear. Okay, thank you for motivation. Yes, tumba preeti and to preeti. Okay, so you not told important what comes ಬರ್ತೈತಿ dear, important ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ನೀವು ನೋಡಿ dear, you people should study and hard, and whatever I tell definitely ಬಂದೇ ಬರ್ತಾವು. ಓಕೆ, now next one you see difference between litmus paper and pH paper. ಏನ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಐತಿ ಲಿಟ್ಮಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ ಮತ್ತು pH paper ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಲಿಟ್ಮಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ can be used to distinguish between acid and base, whereas pH paper is used to measure the H plus ion, that is hydrogen ion concentration in the solution or strength of acid or and base. Then importance of pH in everyday life. See, plants and animals are what they are very much pH sensitive irtavu, plants mattu animals, and our body works within the pH range of 7 to 7.8. When pH of rainwater, this number you should remember, when the pH of rainwater is less than 5.6, ಒಂದು ಮಳೆದು pH 5.6 ಕಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇತ್ತು, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, it is called acid rain. Acid rain is a rain or any other form of precipitation that is usually acidic, meaning that it has elevated level of H plus ion or low pH. Charu Lata, thank you for spending your time and teaching, sir. Thank you dear, a big heart to you, Charu Lata. Now pH of stomach is 1.5 to 3 due to secretion of HCl. In case of indigestion, acidity increases, which can be neutralized by antacids like milk of magnesia. Tooth decay starts when pH of mouth is lower than 5.5. To prevent tooth decay, toothpaste which are basic. So tooth decay ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ when the pH, ನೆನಪಿಡ್ಕೊ, don't get confused with rainwater. Rainwater it is 5.6, whereas the tooth decay it is 5.5, which are basic in nature and used to neutralize excess acid. Many plants and animals produce certain acids to defend themselves. For example, bee stings leave an acid into skin which causes pain and irritation. If the mild base like baking soda is applied on the stung area, it gives what? Relief. So that is what you should write. Aditya Gumtapur, you are the best teacher in the world. Thank you so much, dear. So much love. If yes, Ram Prasad, yes, dear. 625 to 25 आगे ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ dear. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ minor ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Vamshi Krishna is there. Muhammad Nawaz, yes. Now family of salt, neutral salt. There are three types of salt: acidic salt, basic salt, ಮತ್ತು yes. Sorry, dear. Sharana Baswa, I got your point, dear. Sir, LBA answers I'll be doing up very soon, dear. No issues. Now you can see salts produced by reaction of strong acid and strong base. ಯಾರು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಅದಾವು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರು ವೀಕ್ ಅದಾವ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ ನೇಚರ್ ವಿತ್ pH 7, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಗಿವ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಸಿಡಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಬೈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೀಕ್ ಬೇಸ್. ಸೊ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೀಕ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಇತ್ತು, ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವಾಟ್? ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಸ್ ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ? ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೀಕ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಇತ್ತಂದ್ರ ಎಸ್ behind every can you hear me and every pause was your patience, your care, your unseen applause. You never gave up, not even once, and that means more to us than words can respond. It's pretty. Again, thank you, dear, for so much love and affection. Yes, so thank you, dear. I just read. Then basic salts ಬರ್ತಾವು. See, salts formed by the reaction of strong base. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, acidic salt ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ವೀಕ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ, ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ಸಾಲ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ವೀಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಏನೈತಿ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, then common salts. Okay, I'll take a 2 minutes break here. I'll just come within the 2 minutes. ಎದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು. and up to here ನಾ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ರಿವೈಸ್. Now I'll be discussing the most common salt. Okay, so let us now begin on to what? Shedding of what? The common salt, a raw material for chemicals. Okay, so you know that many chemicals, those will be having what? The raw material. Okay, so fast agil nodi devil aitu. Yes, many students, yes, bandru sir, bandru, yes, Surya boss, I am still there. Vibhishan live started. Nikhil, Nikki, yes. See, the common salt thus obtained is an important raw material for various materials of daily use. See, such as sodium hydroxide, NaOH, ಏನ್ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳಿ? It is a product of what? So it is a product of the NaCl only. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder and many more. See, sodium hydroxide, chlor-alkali process you should know here. That is also most important and one of the fixed question you will be expecting. Okay, Abhi log, hi dear. See, when electricity is passed through an aqueous solution, sodium chloride, that is brine solution. So what is brine? Sodium chloride. Solution of NaCl is called as what? We call it as brine ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. It decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. The process is called chlor-alkali process. In this process, chlorine is given off at anode and hydrogen at the cathode. Sodium hydroxide solution is formed near the cathode. The three products formed are very much useful. So which are the three products? Hydrogen will get, chlorine will get, and sodium hydroxide. These are the three products you will get during the chlor-alkali process. Okay, now you can see uses. Sodium hydroxide is used in making paper, soap and detergent for degreasing metal. Chlorine is used for manufacture of PVC, pesticide, and hydrogen, especially the liquid hydrogen what we get. It is used for rocket fuel in hydrogenation process of oil to produce vegetable ghee, that is called margarine, and in making of ammonia for fertilizers. Then what is bleaching powder? See, the chemical name of bleaching powder is what? It is calcium oxychloride, CaOCl2. And how it is prepared? It is produced by action of chlorine on rice like lime. Chlorine Cl2 plus CaOH twice will give CaO Cl2 plus water. Similarly, what are the uses of this bleaching powder? Bleaching cotton and linen industry. See, bleaching powder is used in bleaching cotton and linen industry, and bleaching wood pulp in paper factories, oxidizing agent in chemical industries, and disinfecting drinking water. One of the most important question you should remember. Then coming to next, baking soda. See, baking soda chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate, and the chemical formula is NaHCO3, sodium bicarbonate ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. And for preparation is NaCl plus water plus carbon dioxide plus ammonia. NH3 will give you NH4Cl plus sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3. Okay, and for making baking powder, what is baking powder? It is a mixture of baking soda and tartaric acid, an ingredient in antacid and used in soda acid fire extinguisher. We will use what? Baking soda. Similarly, we will get what? Washing soda. Washing soda is also called as sodium carbonate. Okay, and the chemical formula is NaCO3 dot 10H2O ಬರಬೇಕು. Recrystallization of sodium carbonate gives washing soda, and it is a basic salt ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Na2CO3 plus 10H2O will give you Na2CO3 dot 10H2O. It is used in glass, soap and paper industry. Similarly, manufacture of borax. Borax is a sodium compound. It is used for cleaning. It is used as a cleaning agent. It can be used as a cleaning agent. It can be used for removing permanent hardness of water. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ POP is also called as calcium sulfate hemihydride ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, that we call it as POP. And CaSO4 dot half H2O, on heating gypsum CaSO4 dot 2H2O at 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and becomes POP. It's a white powder on, and mixing with water it changes to gypsum. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರಿ CaSO4 dot 2H2O ಐತಿ, 373 Kelvin heat ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ you will get what? CaSO4 half H2O, that is POP plus 1.5 H2O. Again, the CaSO4 half H2O, when you add 1.5 H2O water, we get what? CaSO4 dot 2H2O, we get it as gypsum ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. Then what are the uses? See, doctors use POP for supporting fractured bones. Not only that, for making toys and material for decoration. The fixed question is, what is water of crystallization? See, water of crystallization is the number of water molecules present in crystal. See, the water molecules present in crystal structure of salt are called water of crystallization, and such salts are hydrated salts. Water of crystallization is fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of salt. For example, copper sulfate pentaadded CuSO4 5H2O, it is having 5 water molecules in one formula unit, blue vitriol ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ sodium carbonate Na2CO3 dot 10H2, it has 10 molecules of water of crystallization. Gypsum CaSO4 dot 2H2O, it is having what? 2 molecules of water of crystallization. So like this you should know this. Now coming to the next chapter, that is metals and non-metals. See, metals and non-metals is a very important chapter. Yes, so how many questions you will get from this, I will letting you know. See here, metals and non-metals, you will get 7 marks and 1 mark 1 question 1 MCQ. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಇದೊಳಗೆ 1 MCQ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, that is 1 mark, and 1 mark 1 question you will get 1 question of 1 mark, and you will get what? 3 mark, yes, 1 mark, 2 mark 1 question, and 3 mark 1 question. Two mark 1 question and 3 mark 1 question. Total you will get 4 questions and 7 marks from this chapter. One of the most important chapter. 1 mark 1 MCQ you will get 1 mark 1 question, 2 mark 1 question, 3 mark. This 3 mark 1 question you can expect the diagram of action of metal and metals on steel. Action of metals on steel is the formula we will expect here. Okay, see action of metals and steam enaitalla, that is what we should be doing. Okay, action of metals on steam. Okay, so that one we need to study here. Yes, I hope you all are connecting. Yes, coming to the next one. See physical properties of metals and non-metals. See metals and non-metals ಅಲ್ಲಿ physical properties and ಎಲ್ಲ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊರಿ, and chemical properties with proper formula you should remember. If action of steam on metals question figure ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ then 3 mark question ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. Okay, everyone should know. Yes, Suresh, I got you the practice LBA definitely dear, but LBA is so huge. ಅದು ಬಹಳ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಐತಿ, ನಿಮ್ ತಲೆ ಗುಯಿ ಗುಯಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಚಕ್ರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. Okay, now coming to next one, physical properties of metals. Metals in the pure state have shiny surface. This property is called metallic luster. Metals are generally hard. Metals ಏನಂತಾವೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, they are generally hard, and the hardness varies from metal to metal except what the soft metals. So tell me which are the soft metals. Sodium, potassium and lithium are soft and they can be easily cut with the help of knife. ನೀವು knife ತಗೊಂಡು easily cut ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. That is the beauty. Then metals can be beaten into thin sheets. This property is called malleability. So which is the most malleable and ductile material? Silver and gold. The ability of a metals to be drawn into thin wires, so we call it as what? We call it as the ductility. Gold is the most ductile material. Which is the most ductile material? Gold is the most ductile material. Metals are good conductors of heat and have high melting point. This is why metals are used in cooking vessels. Lead and mercury are comparatively poor conductors of heat. Nenapidkori, the poor conductors of heat. So which are the poor conductors of heat? Lead and mercury are the poor conductors of heat. Metals are good conductors of electricity. The metal that produces sound on striking a hard surface are said to be sonorous. So yes, sir, I read English from you 80. Very good dear, you managed to do good, excellent. Sir, you are covering all the concepts. Yes dear, I already covered. Now in this most important concepts I will be covering dear. Okay, Umesh, yes sir. Mahadeva and all. See, some exceptions are there. All metals are solid, I said. See, all metals are solid except mercury, because mercury being the metal, it is liquid in state. Gallium and cesium have very low melting point. These two metals will melt if you kept on your palm. So which are the metals with the low melting point? Gallium and cesium. ನೀವು ಕೈ ಒಳಗೆ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು, ಅವು ಈಸಿಲಿ ಏನೈತಿ ಮೆಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು. Then iodine is a non-metal, but it is very much lustrous. It gives very shiny surface. Then diamond and allotrope of carbon is the hardest natural substance known. Which is the hardest substance? It is diamond and has very high melting and boiling point. Graphite, another allotrope of a carbon. Even though it is graphite is a non-metal, it conducts what? Electricity. That one you should know here. Then chemical properties of metals. Metals combine with oxygen to form metal oxide. Metal plus oxygen will give you metal oxide. Example, copper plus oxygen, copper oxide, which is black in color. Aluminium plus oxygen will give you aluminium oxide. Again, magnesium plus oxygen will give you what? Magnesium oxide. Different metals should different react with this oxygen. See, sodium and potassium react so vigorously with oxygen, so they can catch fire. So adakku aur kerosene olaga enaitri fix ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. If they don't be kept in kerosene, they will catch fire immediately. Similarly, a surface of magnesium, aluminum, zinc and lead are covered with thin layer of oxide, which prevent them from further oxidation. Iron does not burn on heating, but iron filings burn vigorously. Gold and silver do not react with oxygen at all. Previously, most of you are asking me, sir, what are amphoteric oxides? The question has come now. See, metal oxides which react with both acid as well as base to produce salt and water, we call it as amphoteric oxide. Example, aluminum and zinc oxide. See, aluminum reacts with both acid as well as base to produce salt and water. Similarly, reaction of metal with water. Metals react with water to produce metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, here very important, metal ನೀರ್ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ metal hydroxide ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, then it will form metal oxide and hydrogen gas will be produced. So for example, you see magnesium added to water will get magnesium oxide plus hydrogen gas. Metal oxides when dissolve water in produce metal hydroxide. Hence metal oxides are said to be basic in nature. Metal oxides are basic in nature because they form what? Basic oxides. Okay, see, metal when added to water it will form metal hydroxide, which is a base. Example, magnesium oxide added to water it will form magnesium hydroxide. Non-metal dissolves in water, produces acid. Yes, non-metallic oxides are said to be acidic in nature. The example, sulfur trioxide when added to water will get sulfuric acid. Sodium and potassium react vigorously with water. The reaction is so violent that and exothermic that the heat evolved, the hydrogen immediately catches fire. So hydrogen gas ಏನೈತಲ್ರಿ ಅದು ಬೆಂಕಿ ಹತ್ತಿ ಬಿಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Then the reaction of calcium is less violent. So this question has come many a time in examination. You already ಬರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರಿ. The reaction of calcium in water is less violent. The heat evolved is not sufficient to catch. Heat evolved is not sufficient to catch fire. Magnesium metal reacts with hot water to produce magnesium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. It starts floating due to bubbles of hydrogen gas sticking on its surface. Whereas aluminium, iron and zinc react with steam to produce metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Metals like silver, gold, copper and lead do not react with water because those are least reactive. Based on this only we have come up with what? Reactivity series. So I hope you all are connecting. Okay, after this only I'll be starting with important questions dear. Almost na mugilike bandini. Then action of steam on metals, this diagram fix, but ಯಾರು diagram ಅನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡಿ. ಎರಡರೊಳಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ hydrogen, that is pop sound diagram, and this one. Reaction of metal with acid in the previous chapter only you have studied. Metal reacts with dilute acids with salt and hydrogen gas. Copper, mercury and silver don't react with acids. Hydrogen gas is not evolved when metal reacts with nitric acid. Again, this is there in the model question paper. Why? Because nitric acid is a strong oxidizing agent and it oxidizes H2 produced to water and itself get reduced to any of the nitrogen oxide, that is nitrogen dioxide, trioxide or only oxides. When metals react with dilute HCl, the rate of formation of hydrogen double is different in each case. It was fastest in case of magnesium as in and in case of copper no bubbles were seen. Metals react with solution of other metal salts. Reactive metals can displace the less reactive metal. You know this is called what? Displacement reaction ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ metals react with solutions of other metals. See, yes, I can see many students online. Asha is there, Nitish, Bhuvan, King, Sparsha, yes, Nishu. See, you know that the metals react with solutions of other metals. Here you should know the reactivity series. Okay, so and for that displacement reaction, the most reactive element displaces the least reactive element in this case. Okay, so now how to remember this? I hope everyone by hearted the reactivity series. Yes, so let me know in the comment section. Reactivity series ಯಾರು ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತ ಕಮೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ. ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಪಟಾಪಟ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. I am expecting. See, if metal A displaces metal B from its solution, it is more reactive than B. So for that you should by heart this reactivity series. For that there is a trick. This is a fixed question. Ida ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಇದು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಬರಂಗೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Okay, you should be please stop. You should remember this trick here. Please stop calling. Please stop calling me a careless zebra. Instead, try learning how Instead, try Learning how copper makes and saves gold. See, please miss potassium. S for sodium, C for calcium, M for magnesium, A for aluminium, C for carbon, Z for zinc, I for iron, I for tin. Try T for tin, I for iron, then L for lead. So like this, you should be able to remember this reactivity series by heart. This कटरीना ने पुकार मांगी अल्टोजन फरारी फिर भी न हुई क्यों मिली सिल्वर ऑडी. Manish gave the very brilliant idea related to Katrina. That is also related to this reactivity series only here. That is also accepted. Okay. Now reaction between metal and a non-metal. Reactivity of element is the tendency to attain completely filled valence cells. Atoms of metals can lose electrons from valence cells to form cation, while atoms of non-metals can gain electrons in valence shell to form anions. Opposite charge ions they attract ಯಾರು ಏನಾಗ್ತಾವೆಲ್ರಿ attract ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವು and held by strong electrostatic force of attraction. The force is so strong that is more here. Now formation of NaCl. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತೈತಿ NaCl I think ಎಲ್ಲರೂ by heart ಹೊಡೆದಿರ್ತೀರಿ. Na is having atomic number 11 and you know sodium Na it use 1 electron it will form sodium cation. Chlorine accept 1 electron it will become sodium cation. anion. ನಾಳೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ FIX. So yes, this one you should know, this is fixed. Okay, ಇದೆಲ್ಲಾರು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. This is a fixed question. Sodium and magnesium ಇವು ಯಾರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದಾವೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ದ ಬಿಡ್ತೀರಿ. So this is FIX, fix. Sodium 1 electron it will get Na plus and Cl minus. Magnesium and you can see a magnesium Cl minus MgCl2 plus. This one is very important. Everyone should study this. No bless. Hello sir, hello dear. So like this you should be able to do this one. Now what are ionic compounds? Again fixed question. Ionic compounds and properties you should do. Okay, see here the compounds formed by transfer of electrons from metal to a non-metal we call it as ionic compounds, or they are also called as electrovalent compound. Ionic compounds they are solid and hard or ಇಷ್ಟು hard ಇರ್ತಾವಂದ್ರ generally they are brittle because of strong force of attraction between the positive and negative ions. They are having high melting and high boiling point because considerable amount of energy is required to break the inter-ionic bond attraction. Then they are generally soluble in water and insoluble in organic compounds like petrol, diesel and kerosene. And ionic compounds conduct electricity in molten state. In solid state do not conduct electricity because in solid state ions do not move freely. Then extraction. What is metallurgy? The extraction of metals from the ores and then refining them for the use is not metallurgy. The elements of compounds which occur naturally in the earth crust are called minerals. Minerals that contain very high percentage of a particular metal. That one we call it as what? We call it as the ores, and that can be profitably extracted from which such minerals are called as what? Ores. Then the extraction of metals, it is a process of obtaining pure metal from its ore. Extraction of metal can be enrichment of ores or concentration of ores, extraction of metals from concentrated ores and refining of metal. And there are three now, there are three, that is on the basis of reactivity, metals can be grouped into three types, that is metals of low reactivity, that is silver, gold, aluminium and Nishu. Okay, now yes dear Asha, yes Mohammed Nawaz, Asha, yes Nishu, tell me dear. Metals of medium and high reactivity. See metals of low reactivity, for example you can see a mercury. See metals at the bottom of reactivity series are least reactive and often found in free state. gold, silver, platinum and copper. These metals are very least reactive. The oxides of these metals can be reduced to metals by heating alone. The cinnabar, the ore of mercury, we call it as cinnabar. One example bandittu, what is amalgam? Alloy of mercury is called amalgam. Now they are asking ore of mercury. The ore of mercury, you should remember cinnabar. When it is heated in air, it is first converted into mercuric oxide, which is further reduced to mercury on heating. You can see here the mercuric sulfide heating mercuric oxide, again it is heated to reduce to the mercury and O2. Okay, so then similarly copper, which is found in Cu2s in nature, can be obtained from its ore by just heating it in air. Then middle reactivity series have ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ. Here roasting ಮತ್ತು calcination fix ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. Everyone should study what the roasting and calcination difference ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. You should be knowing. See, the metals in the middle of reactivity series such as iron, zinc, lead or copper are moderately reactive. These are usually present as sulfides or carbonates in nature. If they are present with sulfide, we should go for what? Roasting. See, the sulfide ores are converted into oxides by heating strongly in presence of excess air. That one we call it as roasting. And the carbonate ores are changed into oxides by heating strongly in limited air. Carbonate, that is calcination. Difference between roasting and calcination fixed banbitide. And you can see the extraction of zinc here related to zinc oxides and calcination process note theory. Then reduction, you can just go through the reduction in this case. Okay, so you can see here, and the most important here is what this thermit reaction. See, thermit reaction is the one in which very high intensity of heat is liberated. See, the reaction of iron, that is Fe2O3 with aluminum is used to join the railway tracks or cracked machine part. Railway track ಮತ್ತು crack machine part ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ ಎರಡು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Sir, next class after finishing Shaun Fernandez, I'll be starting with that only dear. Next you can see this reaction is known as thermit reaction. Fe2O3 plus 2 aluminum will give Fe plus aluminum oxide plus heat. Metals of high reactivity, sodium, potassium, this magnesium, calcium and aluminum are so reactive. Then are highly reactive metals. They cannot be reduced by reducing agents like carbon, because these metals have high affinity towards the oxygen. These metals are obtained by what? Electrolytic reduction. For example, sodium, magnesium, calcium are obtained by electrolysis of molten chlorides. The metals are deposited at the cathode, the negatively charged electrodes, whereas chlorine is liberated at anode, the positively charged electrode. Then refining of metal, we should do it by electrolytic refining. See, the metals produced by various reduction process described above are not very pure. They contain some impurities which must be removed to obtain pure metals. The most widely used methods for refining is electrolytic refining. Many metals such as copper, zinc, tin, nickel, silver, gold are refined electrolytically. In this process, the impure is made anode. Impure and Sharana Baswa is telling thermit reaction is used to join railway track and joining a mechanical substance SD. Yes, dear, it is like welding only. You give the right answer. Excellent. Bhuvan King, yes dear. Nitish, Nishu, Surya. Now on passing electric current, the current through the electrolyte, the pure metal from the anode dissolves in electrolyte. An equivalent amount of pure metal from electrolyte is deposited on the cathode. The soluble impurities go into the solution, whereas insoluble settle down at the bottom. And that insoluble impurities is called anode mud. This figure is fixed. Ellaru screenshot adkonbidri. Naale exam alli 2 mark ಗೆ ಬರುವಂತ fix it is. This we call it as electrolytic refining of copper. Either diagram ellaru ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ. That is electrolytic refining of copper. Fixed diagram everyone ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. Fixed, take the screenshot of this. This is a fixed question. Electrolytic refining of copper. Now corrosion, it is a deterioration of a metal as a result of chemical reaction between it and surrounding. I think this one pakka question. Now silver reacts with sulfur in air to form silver sulfide. The articles become tan black color. Already this one I have explained long back. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ. Then copper reacts with moist carbon dioxide in air and forms a green coat of copper carbonate. Iron acquires a coating of brown flaky substance called rust, and rust is nothing but hydrated oxide. Then prevention of this corrosion, paint ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, oil ಮಾಡಬಹುದು, grease ಹಚ್ಚಬಹುದು, then galvanizing, making alloys, this all you should know. Okay, so now you can see galvanizing, it is a process which involves coating of iron with zinc. Iron ಗೆ zinc ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು coat ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ that process we call it as what? Galvanization. And now here ಬೇಕು. Then what are alloys? Alloys are the homogeneous mixture. See the word here, homogeneous. It is the homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, ಅಥವಾ metals and non-metals. Example, stainless steel alloy of INC. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಕಾಂಗ್ರೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, INC is nothing but iron, nickel and chromium is stainless steel. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ alloy of copper and zinc, BCZ. Brass, bronze is BCT, bronze is BCT. Solder, lead and tin, and it is having low melting point and it is used for welding electrical wires together. ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಂತ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ in previous preparatory, the one which is amalgam is an alloy of mercury, and if one of the metal is mercury, then the alloy is known as amalgam. Sodium amalgam, silver amalgam, bubblegum ಅಲ್ಲ, amalgam ಅಂತ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. Then coming to the last chapter, that is carbon and its compounds, and very short chapter it is, C and its C. Yes, many comments, Bhuvan, yes dear, and yes, so Aditya Gumtapur, yes dear, yes, Sharana Baswa, Bhuvan King, yes dear. See properties of carbon and its compounds ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, carbon and its compounds we should see. Alan, sir, instead of going chapter wise, go one short of important. Yes dear, just other ಮಾಡಬೇಕ್ರಿ. Next, after finishing this is the last chapter. After finishing this, all the questions I will do, because without knowing the basics of the chapter, how can you do, dear? No, we should be knowing, dear. Alan Paul, I got your point. This is the last one, and here also I am highlighting important things, and later I will be solving only important question. Okay, sir, we want physics, chemistry, biology in one video only. No dear, I will be solving tomorrow. I will be solving all the three in one paper, dear. Okay, now carbon is tetravalent in nature. It does not form ionic bond because it has 4 valence electron. To form ionic bond, carbon must either gain or lose 4 electrons. It is difficult to hold 4 extra electron in its outermost shell, so it will not form. ಅದು 4 ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೂ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, 4 ಕೊಡಕ್ಕೂ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ತೊಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ತಗೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅದು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. that one you should know here. Okay, similarly, ನಾಲ್ಕು ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ we need to have large amount of energy to remove 4 electron, so it will not form C4 plus cation. Carbon can form bond by sharing its electron. Therefore, the sharing of electron we call it as what? We call it as covalent bond. See, the bond formed by sharing of electron between same or different atoms is called covalent bond. In covalent bond, shared pair of electrons belong to valence shell of both atoms. For example, you can see here hydrogen, HH, so it will form like this single covalent bond. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಮೀಥೇನ್, ದಿಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್. ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್, ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್, ಮೀಥೇನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಬಂದೇ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಮೆನಿ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ having. So oxygen you can see double bond between the carbon atoms, nitrogen you can see triple bonds. Then what are the physical properties of this covalent bonds? You know that these covalent bonds they exist in all the 3 states. Maximum are gases only, very few are solids and liquids. Okay, so solubility, these are generally insoluble in water or near soluble agangilla, but they are soluble in organic compounds like benzene, toluene, etc. Then melting and boiling points, these generally have a low melting and low boiling point, and they have generally held weak intermolecular forces. There's a very small amount of energy is required to break the bond between the two or more molecules. That is why they have low melting and low boiling point. Then the electrical conductivity, they are non-conductor of electricity in solid molten aqueous state. As covalent bonds lack free ions, they do not able to conduct electricity. Versatile nature of carbon of the bar versatile nature IT. See, carbon can form large number of carbon compounds. The factors that enable carbon to form large number of compounds are catenation and tetravalency. These are the two properties of tetravalency and the catenation you should know here when it comes to carbon. Okay, yes sir, solder is lead and tin, very good. PB and SN, sparsha, yes dear. Now you can see catenation, making of see, it is a unique ability of elements to form long straight and branch chains and ring structure. We call it as catenation. Cat means what? Catenation, very important. Catenation means to make a long carbon chain, straight chain, branch chain, closed chain mattu circle chain. Then tetravalency means, tetra means 4, carbon is having 4 valencies, therefore we call it as tetravalent. It is a state of an atom in which there are 4 electrons available with the atom for covalent bonding. Then compounds made up of hydrogen and carbon, we call it a hydrocarbon. In hydrocarbons, we are having saturated hydrocarbons, alkanes, CnH2n plus 2. Then unsaturated hydrocarbons are alkenes and alkynes, CnH2n and Ci. Then alkynes, CnH2n minus 2. Aromatic hydrocarbon is benzene. Okay. Now IUPAC name you know, root word meth, eth, pro, but, pent, hex, hept, oct, non, dec. And the suffix depends upon the bonds. Okay. Now homologous series means what? Those series which are having the same formula CnH2n plus 2, then we call it as the, so its example you see methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, heptane, octane, nonane. Other ರೀತಿ homologous series of alkenes, ethene, propene, butene, pentene, hexene and heptene. You can see the double bond between the carbon atom. ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಏನೈತಿ double bond ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು. Then homologous series of alkyne, the formula is CnH2n minus 2, ethine, propine, butine, pentine, hexine, heptine, and you can see triple bond between the carbon atom. Now you can see here electron dot structure of saturated hydrocarbon. So you can see ethane electron dot structure, ethene electron dot structure, ethyne electron dot structure. Like this you should draw. And cyclic and closed chain, these are called as saturated hydrocarbons, and these are hydrocarbons which are having carbon-carbon closed chain. Cyclopropane C3H6, you can see cyclohexane. And benzene is an aromatic. Aromatic means which will give perfume smell. We call it as what? Aromatic and heavy. See, it is an aromatic hydrocarbon which has molecular formula C6H6. You should remember, draw the structure of benzene and write its molecular formula is C6H6, and it is having alternate double and single bonds. Then what is isomerism? The compounds which possess same molecular formula. You know, the iso means same, M for molecular formula. Compounds having same molecular formula but different structural formula, we call it as isomerism. Example is N-butane and isobutane. This idu example li bandbittide, so ellaru madlebeku. The compounds which possess the same molecular formula but different structural formula, we call it as isomerism. This is important. Then isomers of pentane are 3. Then coming to homologous series, See, a series of organic compounds in which every succeeding member differs from the previous by CH2 or by 14 atomic mass unit. We call it as what? A homologous series. The molecular formula of all members of homologous series can be derived from general formula. Just now we have seen, as molecular mass increases in series, physical properties compounds show much variations. Similarly, functional group chloro, bromo, alcohols, aldehydes, ketones and carboxylic acids. Haloalkane you can see, methane idalli Cl hakri, that one we call it as heteroatom. Okay, the compound which replaces the hydrogen we call it as heteroatom. Chlorine is heteroatom, bromine is heteroatom. Then you can see a few examples of chloropropane, bromopropane, bromopentane, alcohols, methanol, ethanol, propanol, aldehyde CHO, methanol, ethanol, propanol, butanol, ketone, propanone, butanone, pentanone, ONE, that is C double bond O. Then adhe riti carboxylic acid, C double bond OH, methanoic acid, ethanoic acid, propanoic acid. Then chemical properties of carbon compounds. Combustion ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ನ್ ಇನ್ ಏರ್ ಟು ಗಿವ್ ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್, ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎನರ್ಜಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ energy adaithi, so you should know this. Okay, now carbon and its compounds are used as a fuels. You know that carbons and they are used as the fuel because they burn in air releasing lot of heat energy. Saturated hydrocarbons generally burn in air with blue and non-sooty flame, whereas unsaturated hydrocarbons they burn in air with yellow sooty flame because percentage of carbon is higher than saturated hydrocarbon. It does not get completely oxidized. Oxidations, you know, addition of oxygen is called oxidation. Again, fixed question, exam alli band bittide, exam alli fix barda baritiri. That is oxidation. Alcohols can be converted into carboxylic acid. You know, the alcohol is CH2OH. As acid agiti, one oxygen iti, now it has become two oxygen. Oxygen is added. Since the oxygen is added, we call it as oxidation reaction. The oxidizing agents here are alkaline KMnO4, that is potassium permanganate, or acidified potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7. Okay, now addition reaction, unsaturated hydrocarbons, that is double bond and triple bond undergo addition reaction. In unsaturated hydrocarbon, hydrogen is added in presence of catalyst. You should know the catalyst. The name of the catalyst is nickel or sir, you are doing comedy note here. I am reading. I am just recalling something with the messages. As soon as I see message, some of you, I am recalling something. So due to which I am getting what ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ, ಮೆಸೇಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ನಗು ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕತ್ತೈತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ Bhakti Marg is there. Yes, sir, why you are laughing? No, Blaze, I am not laughing, dear. I am just going through your comments and I am just recalling something due to which I am getting laugh. Not laughing, I think I am just recalling something after seeing message agakattiri adake. Okay, now you can see nickel or palladium in presence of hydrogen we call addition reaction. In unsaturated hydrocarbon, hydrogen is added in presence of catalyst, that is nickel or palladium. You should know this, nickel or palladium. Okay, now vegetable oils are converted into vegetable ghee using this process. It is also called hydrogenation of vegetable oils. Animal fats generally contain saturated fatty acids which are said to be harmful for health. Oils containing unsaturated acids should be chosen for cooking. Then what are catalysts? These are the substances that cause a reaction to occur or proceed at different rates. Okay, so like this you should be able to solve this one. Then substitution reaction alli ನೋಡಿ chlorine ಬಾಜು ಐತೆ, ಅದರ ಬಾಜು ಬಂದು ಕೂಡ್ತೈತಿ. That one we call it as what? Substitution reaction. See, saturated hydrocarbons undergo substitution reaction in presence of sunlight. Chlorine can replace hydrogen atoms, methane one by one in presence of sunlight. Then difference between saturated ಮತ್ತು unsaturated hydrocarbon fix ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. See, saturated hydrocarbons, they are having single bonds, whereas double bond, triple bond, less reactive, more reactive, generally gives a clean flame. They give yellow sooty flame. Undergoes substitution reaction, undergoes which one? Addition reaction. Ethanol. Ethanol is commonly known as alcohol. It is a second member of alcohol series. The chemical properties, you can see the formula already, I think you know, C2H5OH, and it is a good solvent. Okay, now you can see here reaction with sodium, formation of sodium ethoxide, then reaction to give saturated unsaturated hydrocarbon single bond into double bond agiti. Here the most important is concentrated H2SO4 ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. See, in this reaction sulfuric acid act as a dehydrating agent which removes water from alcohol. Users says it is an active ingredient in all alcoholic drinks. It is also used in medicines such as tincture, iodine, cough syrup and many tonics. Then ethanoic acid. See, ethanoic acid is also called as acetic acid, and it belongs to a group called what? Carboxylic acids, and is second member of this series. The molecular formula of this compound is CH3COOH. 5 to 8% of solution in acetic acid in water, we call it as what? Vinegar. Okay, vinegar. So the melting point of pure ethanoic acid is very low, hence it often freezes during the winter, in cold winters. Okay, so yes, this gives rise to its name glacial acetic acid. Then chemical properties of ethanoic acid fix ನಾಳೆ exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾಡ್ದು exam ಅಲ್ಲಿ definitely will write esterification reaction. This one will come for show. Screenshot ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ರಿ. Esterification reaction fix ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. So everyone should know this. Esterification. Esters are commonly from the reaction of acid and an alcohol. Ethanoic acid reacts with absolute ethanol in presence of an acid catalyst to give ester. ಇಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಎಥನಾಯಿಕ್ ಆಸಿಡ್ ಐತಿ, ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ಒಂದ್ ಕೈ ಒಳಗೆ ಆಸಿಡ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಒಂದ್ ಕೈ ಒಳಗ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಎರಡು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟರ್. Esters are sweet smelling substances. These are used in making perfumes and flavoring agents. Saponification reaction, you can see soap form ಮಾಡೋದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ carbonates and hydrogen carbonate soap ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೈತಿ. Then the last part of our today's discussion is soaps and detergents. So ಮುಗಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂತು. ಈ ಸ್ಪರ್ಮ್ ಗತಿ ಏನ್ ಕಾಣಿಸಕತ್ತಿತ್ತಲ್ರಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಈ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನೇ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು. Okay, see here soaps are sodium or potassium salts of long chain carboxylic acid, and soap molecule has two end. One is ionic end, that is the hydrophilic part. The one is hydrophobic end, that is long chain hydrocarbon chain part. Then cleaning action of soap. Soap hang clean ಮಾಡ್ತೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So you can see most dirt is oily in nature. The hydrophobic end of soap molecule attaches itself is dirt, and ionic end is surrounded with the molecule of water. This results in formation of a radial structure called missiles. Soap missiles helps to dissolve dirt and grease in water and cloth gets clean. Soaps are effective in soft water. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋರಿ, soaps ಬರೀ soft water ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾವು. Then the magnesium and calcium salts present in hard water reacts with soap molecule to form insoluble product called scum. This scum create differently in cleaning action. Detergents are ammonium or sulfonate salts of long chain carboxylic acid. Detergents are effective in both hard and soft water. By use of detergent, insoluble scum ಏನಾಯ್ತಲ್ರಿ ಅದು ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. With the hard water and clothes are clean effectively. Okay, I hope almost all the chapters of your textbooks, ಎಲ್ಲ 13 ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾನು ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Now the major thing comes to what? After this next video is all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mark questions I will be solving in the next session. Fix the question. I hope whatever I am telling you people are understanding. If you are finding this helpful, I request everyone to put the heart or thumbs up in the comment section below so that you can get to know. Okay, thank you so much dear. So with that I'll just take a leave. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಗೋಣ. ಈಗ ವಿತ್ 1 2 3 4 5 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ನಾ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗಿ ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಾಲ್ವಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಫಿಸಿಕ್ಸ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್. Then I'll be doing many questions I'll be solving up. Okay, very soon I'll be coming. I'll just message up as soon as I complete with the content here. Okay, thank you everyone. Aditya Guntapuri, then Nitish is there, then Shaun Fernandez. Before I'll try to come by 6:30 dear. It is I'll come early as possible and make sure I ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದಬೇಕು. ವಿದ್ಯಾಸಾಗರ್ ಆಯಿತು, ನಿತೀಶ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಎಸ್ ಟುಡೇ ಒನ್ಲಿ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಡಿಯರ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾಡ್ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಐತಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ವೆರಿ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟ್ ಟು ರೀಡ್ ಡಿಯರ್. ಎಸ್, ಸೊ ಎಸ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓದ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನಾ ಏನೇನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಬಿಗ್ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಎವ್ರಿ ಒನ್ those are watching. So hinga ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರಿ. So yes Gautam, then I can see the yes no Bina is here, then Bhuvan is here, Bobby is here, very good. Yes, so Saurabh is here, very good. Darshan is here, excellent. Gautam is here, thank you everyone. Yes, ಎಲ್ಲಾರು ಚಂದಾಗಿ ಓದ್ರಿ.